G'day guys, KennyRaceBoy here, and today I'm at Burrinjuck Dam. But that's not what I'm here to tell you about. I'm here to tell you about the bike that I rode about a week or so ago, which was the Super Tenere XT1200. And I test rode the V-Strom about, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, and that was really good, but this has actually bested it. So I am pretty sure, about 100% sure, that I'm going to get this bike for my next bike. So yeah, I'm going to tell you a bit about it. So hopping on the bike for the first time, I must say the weight of the bike is not very apparent. I mean, this bike does weigh quite a fair bit, and it felt like I was riding my KLR. And that bike does weigh a fair bit as well, but not as much as this Super Tenere, and they felt very, very similar. So the weight of this bike is very well balanced.
It's quite light, actually. I thought it was going to be heavier than that. Yeah, if you fall off. Oh yeah, maybe.
Another thing I did notice when I went to go take off is that the clutch on this one is actually a hydraulic clutch, so it doesn't feel too heavy, and it's really, really smooth as well. So nice smooth power delivery on this particular bike.
It's a nice looking bike. So is that one yours? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's nice and old school. Yeah.
So jumping straight onto the highway, the first thing I did notice was the amount of power this bike had. Just over 100 horsepower on this particular bike, which means that cruising on the highway is perfect. There's plenty of power. If you've got it loaded up with your gear as well, it's not going to hamper your progress. So I can definitely see myself doing a lot of highway miles, but also I think this bike can be very capable off-road. The positioning is just so good. Standing up out of the saddle, I didn't feel like the tank was getting in my way, so that's a bonus. The V-Strom I rode, for instance, when you stood up, the tank actually is kind of a weird shape, so it kind of hits your knees, so that gets a little bit uncomfortable. Definitely I think this bike does have a lot more off-roading capability than the V-Strom I rode. Things like spoked rims and also shaft drive on this bike just makes things a lot more hassle-free in the long term. Also, riding this bike around town didn't seem like it was too much of a handful. The power delivery, as I said, in touring mode is quite handleable, and when you switch it over to sport there is quite a lot of pull there. And I did actually have a bit of a mess around with it, and I could definitely tell the difference. All in all, I can say I'm very impressed with this particular bike, which is probably why the major reason is I'm going to get this bike. It's just a matter of when. The pricing on this particular model, brand new you'd be looking at about $20,000, second hand you'd be looking at about $16,000. So the price is a little bit more expensive than the V-Strom 1000, but I definitely think it's well worth the expense. Let me know what you guys think about this bike, whether you think it's a good purchase or whether you want to kind of recommend something else. But as it stands, I do think this is probably the best bike for the money at the moment that kind of has everything that I want. And as always guys, thanks for watching. Comment, rate and subscribe if you feel free to, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.